Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to Pop of Color Live, a music industry late night show for colorful bands and artists. I'm your host, Clara, and I am so happy that you are here tonight joining me with this episode. This episode is what I'd like to refer to as the wisdom episode. So basically, the main feature tonight will be me going through bits and pieces of advice and lessons I've learned the hard way or from other people throughout my journey in the music industry so far. We air Monday nights live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, but we also always have the archives on my blog and on YouTube. Links to the news items referenced are always in the description of this video. Wait, this way. Yes, I always forget that it's flipped. Hello, Leonard. So happy that you're tuning in live. Let's start with the news. So you might have heard me say more than once, whether it be on the show, on Twitter, or in blog articles, that fake followers don't buy concert tickets, so don't pay money to have nothing in return. This was proven very, very accurate this week when a news story broke about an LA-based hard rock band that faked their entire fan base, a record label, and a booking agent to the point of booking a tour in Europe where then no one showed up. So the band is called Theatron. I have no idea. Because it goes to show they are not as famous as they said they are. So it's a LA-based solo artist, and he hires musicians for live gigs. What he did was he not only bought fake followers and bought fake RSVPs to events, but he doctored live footage. So his music videos that were set to be live never show. They were him playing guitar, and then the screaming crowd of a packed club, but never two in the same place if you looked at it closely enough. Maggie, scoot. I am having a show. So then, after doing that, he posed as his own booking agent and then went to go book these tours at venues in Europe, showing them this fake footage, showing them all these fake likes and followers and comments on YouTube videos and on his social media. And so the venues booked him. The artist went to Europe. His promoter, aka himself with a different accent, told the venues that that they'd already sold 300 tickets or so. Cue day of show, 3 people show up. Kids, remember, fake followers don't buy concert tickets, and not only did he make a complete fool of himself, but he's also likely going to be blacklisted from the entire venue owners community in that side of the world, as well as making headlines on shows such as these. Not worth it, don't do it. Second piece of news I wanted to bring up this week, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat have all stopped growing in the USA according to their new numbers. So I've also got the link to the report in the description of this video. But basically, now that the market is so saturated in North America, there's really not much else more to grow. If you haven't gotten a Facebook account by now, chances are you're not likely to be someone who gets one. So these social media platforms now have to expand overseas and globally, internationally, though North America is still a priority because of our monetary value to advertisers. So this is the part I found really interesting and I wanted to share on this show. So in the Asia Pacific region, the value is about $2.67 per head. In Europe, it jumps up to $8.82 per head. And in North America, so that's USA, Canada, we are a whopping $27.61 per head. Everyone, meet Julius. He is as much of an attention hog as Maggie. For those of you who are unaware from different shows and from various quick pictures, I haven't really focused them on my social medias yet because I'm still trying to get them all in one place at once. But I'm fostering 4 little kittens for a little bit longer, and I've named them all after Shakespearean tragedies, so watching them is more like a comedy. So we got Julius, Hamlet, Cleopatra, and Othello. And final piece of news I wanted to quickly bring up is Apple Music has quietly unveiled their preferred distribution program. So basically, it just shows in the open, though not advertised, which distributors for your music. So this would be what gets an artist's music into streaming services such as Apple Music. Which of these distributors, so think CD Baby, DistroKid, Ditto Music, and so on, and encoding houses are rated more preferably by Apple Music based on a number of factors, and as a result, what kind of special features, special benefits they can receive for that. So if you want to check where your distributors is ranked, link in description of this video. CD Baby, by the way, is a preferred plus, which is the highest tier. DistroKid, which is what I use, is only preferred. Spencer, I see you're on, so yes, you are with CD Baby, correct? They're doing really well. So there we go. Thank you very much for catching the news segment. And now for the wisdom episode. So this is just really, I want to do something low key today. I'm still recovering from having health issues and the kittens are climbing the curtains. So think of it like this. I'm living in a house with way more cats than I'm okay with, despite what the shirt says. Way more cats than I'm cool with. Though it's not forever. Maggie's still waiting on her call to go to the feline cafe. I am not feeling too good physically, though working on that. And I'm overrun with awesome work with awesome artists. So as you can see, I'm a bit frazzled, but I am more than happy to try to do this every single week that I can. Maggie manners. Let us begin the wisdom episode. Tip number 1, freelancers still schedule their days. So many of you who are in the situation of either being still in school or working that day job with the goal of being a full-time musician or person in the music industry, you see your friends, you see other people around you who are full-time freelancers. You know, they get to be their own boss, schedule their own socials, but schedule their own days, and it may seem very glamorous. I'm sure you might have seen those stereotypical ads of people on the beach saying, you know, work from home and you can do whatever you want. You're your own boss and there's no schedule involved. Unfortunately, that is not quite the case to maintain a business. We are not investing in the stock market. We actually have to do work every single day and get stuff done, whether it be practicing, writing, creating, planning, communicating, making bookings, negotiating, and all the kind of work we have to do. So as a result, freelancers still schedule their days. Hate to burst that bubble on you, sorry. So, you know, set an alarm, make your bed in the morning like a champ does, eat a healthy breakfast, and have a consistent day because you will be so much more productive and so much happier. When I first graduated school, I first finished school, I went from, you know, having my entire life from preschool to college being scheduled for me from classes and you know, just living in a house with sisters and parents who had 9-to-5 jobs to suddenly, oh my gosh, here I am in an apartment. I have no scheduled life. I can do whatever I want. You know, so the first 2 weeks is awesome. Then suddenly, oh my God, I can do whatever I want. This is horrible. So, well, it's I like to compare it to retiring. If you take someone who has spent the last 40 years of their life in the workforce working a 9-to-5 job, they retire and then, oh no, now what do I do? That's the idea. Schedule your days as a freelancer. You will be much more productive and it will make you much happier, less prone to depression, anxieties, and bad physical health. Tip number 2, back up your work. So much of our work is done on the computers, but even if you're very analog and old school or a mix of the two like I am, back up your work. So whether it be on a USB stick, on a drive, in the cloud, in different rooms, having it burned on a CD and stick it at your friend's house, the best thing you can do is have your different, if you have important files, important documents, important things, your projects you're working on, client projects, you do not want to lose many hours of work right before it's due or when a client is desperately waiting for it. Whether it be the song, you're your own client, where it's the songs you've recorded, whether it be you're working on this brilliant thing for someone else. You don't want to lose it, so back up your work. Computer crashes, breaking, anything can happen. Flood, that soaks these papers. Bad. Back up your work. Speaking of work, get contracts in writing. So this one is lifted straight out of the mistakes I made so far in my music business. But just because you are friends on good terms with someone, that doesn't mean you should not get a contract with them. I don't necessarily mean it has to be a legal thing, but in my case, here I was, I was like, well, if I ask for the contract in writing, it'll make it sound like I don't trust them. We're good. They wouldn't try to backstab me. And this person didn't have bad intentions, but in this case, this artist, he realized that he could not afford what he said he would pay me and had to drop the price while I was still doing all the work we promised. This would not have come back to bite me if I had had a contract with him. Once again, it does not have to be a serious legal thing, but just something so both of you know that you're on the same page and that it's binding and there is that level of commitment to the decisions and to what you're asking of each other to do. Doesn't matter if they're friends, don't do handshakes, don't do anything that requires trust because money does weird things to people as well. Next tip, ask for a down payment on personalized work. So may this be a flat fee for an event or doing something that's very personalized that you cannot get back, you should ask for a down payment on it. So let's say a venue that is 5 hours driving away has asked you to play. You should ask for a guarantee, or ask to be paid in advance, at least a portion of the amount, so that you don't drive all the way there only to find out that they've double booked or there is no gig or anything of the sort that comes back to bite you because you just, not only did you drive 5 hours there and wasted gas money, but you also might have had to turn down other gigs because you had one that night. Same goes in my world, for example, with bio writing. If I write a bio for an artist, and they don't pay me, I can't just take that bio and give it to another artist because, hello, it's very personalized for the first artist. So I learned this the hard way. This comes both in contracts and the down payment story, but this was at least a year ago. But in this case, manager commissions me to write a bio for his artist. I write the bio, hand it in. Turns out that the artist and manager are no longer working together, so I don't get paid. Ask for down payments on personalized work. Next, physical health is a top priority. As I've mentioned, I've been feeling very physically unwell in the last few weeks. I'd like to think that the weather is not very nice to me right now, but it's also a matter of this has been a very big year for me, epic highs, epic lows. As many of you know, I have moved a couple times. I've also had my first breakup, like my first real heartbreak of a long-term relationship. But I also have been introduced to the world of cats this year, and my business has exploded to I don't even know what the right word is, but that line, it'll come to me later. So, epic highs, epic lows, and my immune system has decided to go down to the Caribbean islands this winter and not take the rest of me with it. Physical health is top priority. If you are in an industry, especially as a freelancer, that does not come with paid sick days or health insurance on your own, you need to take care of yourself. So eat healthy, exercise, try to see the sunlight and breathe some fresh air every day if you can. Take very good care of your physical health. While we're at it, you should also take good care of your mental health. Many people don't admit it as much as they should, though the stigma is getting better, but alcoholism, drug abuse, substance issues, and mental illness are extremely prevalent in our industry. So if you need help, if it's getting out of control, you really need to see someone, because this is something that you are not alone in. And as we are creative, artistic souls, these things tend to hit us worse than other segments of the population. Many of us either have gone through it ourselves or know someone that we're very close to in the community who is going through issues like this. Reach out, don't be afraid, ask for help, accept the help that's given. Okay. Next. So, all right, if you guys are you all familiar with the expression, don't count your chickens before they're hatched? This refers to don't bank on opportunities. So in Quebec, where my family's from, on my dad's side, the expression is don't sell your bear fur before you've actually hunted down and got that bear. Same idea. It's like spending your lottery winnings before you win the lottery. If you have not sealed the deal yet, it hasn't been inked, don't go and capitalize on that success. Don't celebrate early is what I'm trying to say. I mean, definitely feel excited, feel proud, feel hopeful, but it's the same idea as someone writing on Facebook and announcing loudly, I got the job, as soon as they walk out of the interview, when in fact they don't get the job. So it's great to be proud of yourself, it's great to be excited, but when it comes to loudly announcing your successes, wait till you actually get the deal signed and the opportunity is 100% concrete, even if it means waiting on your excitement a little bit longer, so that everyone can be super excited with you and for you and avoid all the awkward questions later on. Make friends outside of music. So this is a piece of advice that I got from someone who is one of the most diverse people I know in this industry. So she started a record label, and she also has a PhD in terrorism studies. To go in complete other opposite directions, she's here in town, but this was the piece of advice she gave me. If you spend all your time with people who are in the same industry as you, so such as the music industry for us, so if I only ever hung out with musicians or engineers or other people in this industry, soon we're all going to be in a bubble and all our ideas are just going to go round and round and round, and we're never going to come up with anything new. In order to get out of that bubble and to be able to bring new inspiration into our world, bring innovation, bring new ideas in, we need to have diverse friends who have different interests than simply music. And I'm not meaning collecting friends like Pokemon cards. I mean in the sense of if you're able to reconnect with some friends you grew up with, go for it. If you have any family friends, going out, joining activities. If you are able to look inside yourself and think, I have a passion that's not just playing guitar, good for you. Try to just find other people who have something else in common with you that you can get along with and talk about things with, because you'll never know what kind of inspiration you can find from them that you can bring back into the world of music for not just maybe yourself, but also for other people and for innovation in our industry as a whole. Sorry. Everyone filters their life for the cameras. So if it's not on Facebook, did it really happen? I mean, it's very easy to play the comparison game. I laugh about it all the time, but I actually do fall for it. You scroll on social media or you see other artists who are announcing that they are achieving big successes, and you're thinking, and you're comparing yourself, usually in a negative way, to that. But don't forget, everyone plays themselves up, especially with social media where it's so easy. You just, you snap a picture on your best day, but little do the people scrolling know that, you post in 20 different positions before you finally found the one that, you felt the best with and you were willing to post. And so on and so forth. For many people, there are beautiful girls my age right now on Instagram who have 10,000 followers, and I'm like right here with my 500 going, well, that stinks. I'm not as popular on Instagram as they are, but they can't pay the bills with their music. So, it's don't play the comparison game. Everyone fakes it a little bit on social media. There are even these cases. Not to crack on too many entrepreneurs in my industry, but there are a few people who are the types, I like to call them entrepreneurs, but they'll go to the bank, they'll take a bunch of cash bills out, go home, lay them out on their bed, take an artsy photo of like a ton of money, then put them back in an envelope and take them back to the bank and deposit them back in. Or the types who post with pictures of private jets that because they were trespassing at a private airport, and what you see is them shooting a picture, shooting a video going, I can teach you how to be a successful entrepreneur. What you don't see is as soon as the phone stops recording, the security guards are chasing them down for trespassing on a actual millionaire's tarmac. That is a fun story about don't play the comparison game because everyone fakes it for social media. Don't feel like a fraud because you're doing it too. It's just one of those, social media is a way to take some of our worst impulses as human beings, and we all do it to some degree. As long as you're trying to be authentic and as long as you feel good about it and you're making sure your fans and the people who love and care about you are okay, that's all that matters from that front. Kindness wins. Okay, new point. Be nice. Most people who are high up in the industry and who got there on hard work and dedication, authenticity, and smarts, and they've been there long enough to know what they're talking about, would much rather work with someone whose talent-wise is a little rough around the edges, but is a pleasant person to work with, than some arrogant prodigy who doesn't take instructions. Just be nice. And that's a big example, but start taking it into everyday lives. Remember the names of the sound engineers who help you. Remember the names of the crew. If you're able to pay compliments to people, do it. Show up on your local scene and support your local scene. Hang on, I'm good. This is Cleopatra, by the way. Isn't she lovely? She's so pretty. She's like Louise, but she's got brown spots too. Like Cleopatra. My last couple points I just want to throw together because I was writing this down on a piece of paper, and I think they go together. It's, be humble, try everything, and no one knows what they're doing anyway. This is an industry that's changing so fast that it's really hard to have a 10-year plan anymore because there's so much going on. You don't know I don't know where I'll be in 5 years, let alone 10. I don't know where I'll be in 1 year, come to think of it. Even more straightforward things like musicians or engineers, it's very hard to have a clear career path going forward like you could have 10 years ago even. So try everything, build skills in many different areas because you don't want to put all your eggs in the proverbial basket, especially when it comes to technology. Think, what if 10, 15 years ago, there were people who were specialists in, say, MySpace, and that was all they knew how to do, and they were experts. But as soon as MySpace fell out of popularity and people stopped using it and went over to Facebook, those people suddenly didn't have marketable skills. If you are able to have a couple backup skills that you can work on, or just to expand your versatility as a musician, an artist, a music entrepreneur, that is awesome. Be humble, be kind. No one knows what they're doing anyway. This is my little wisdom segment on tonight's episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me and letting me show you my cats, the foster cats anyway. They won't be mine for much longer. They will go to their forever homes once they're rehabilitated. So that's awesome. I'm happy for them no matter what. Anyways, my name is Clara. I run Pop of Color, a music marketing and branding agency based in Canada. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next week. Be good to each other. Good night.